We look fantastic right now. If you've seen the footage of the actual march, it's like what I'm looking at right now, with our candles lit, and we'll just walk from deep back there all the way up towards camera. When we call cut, everyone will stop, we'll back up, and we'll try it again. We may do a series 3 or 4 times of the same thing, and that's basically it. Thank you all for coming out tonight. We're reenacting a pretty cool moment in San Francisco history, and I think you're all here based upon the spirit of that night, so I think it's going to be a good evening.
His name is Cleve Jones. People may know him and have heard of him. He was one of Harvey Milk's proteges. He's played by Emil Hirsch in the movie. And the real Cleve Jones is going to be here in just a minute. I'm going to introduce him to you, and he's going to talk a little bit about what we're recreating, what night it was, what happened, to give you some sense. Were any of you at the real Candlelight March? Wow. All right, that's amazing. Well, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. This movie is happening now, and we're all here tonight because of Cleve Jones, and it's a great honor of mine to introduce him to you now. Mr. Jones, get up here, you sexy thing. What I told them was that you would give them a little history of what this night is and what they're recreating.
You look great. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We made history on these streets about 30 years ago, and we're going to do it again tonight. Yes. Now, those of you who were not here at the time, and maybe if you were here, could you raise your hand right now? I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're still alive. Okay, so those of you who weren't here, in the early and mid-70s, across the United States, the emerging gay liberation movement was successful in passing legislation protecting the rights of gay people in housing and employment. And then the right wing mobilized, and it was a vicious, hateful backlash. And from Dade County to Wichita to St. Paul to Eugene, our first few pieces of rights were stripped away in popular votes, where we were called child molesters and equated with bestiality. And we fought back. And here in San Francisco, which was gay and lesbian, bisexual, and transgender refugees from all across America, we said, no more. We will not stand for this. We have the power to fight back. And that became our rallying cry, and Harvey Milk became one of many important leaders who, like all of us, were just ordinary men and women who had the courage to tell the truth and stand up and fight the police and fight the government and keep on fighting until our rights were secure. Harvey Milk was elected in November of 1977. He took office in January of 1978 and served only 11 months in office before he and our mayor, George Moscone, were assassinated by a former cop named Dan White. That night, as word of the murders spread throughout San Francisco, people left their homes and schools and businesses, and at sunset, gathered at the corner of Castro and Market Street, tens of thousands of people who lit candles and marched in absolute silence, a river of candles, down Market Street to Civic Center Plaza. It was an extraordinary night, and we were gay and straight, men and women, young and old, black and brown and white, all the people of San Francisco who shared Harvey Milk and George Moscone's progressive vision for the future of this city. So tonight, you are going to be reenacting the Candlelight March that occurred on November 27, 1978, following the murders of Harvey Milk and George Moscone. And I just have to say, after 30 years, I am so grateful to be here, to be alive when so many of our comrades are gone. And I am deeply grateful to each and every one of you for being part of this tonight. And hopefully it'll be out in September or October, and you'll be able to take your friends and your families, and they too can learn the legend of Harvey Milk. Thank you very much. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. I know that you are out here because Harvey Milk still means something today. He means something in my life. He inspired me in so many ways to create the rainbow flag, to devote my life to fighting for our rights. And I know all of you are out here tonight because Harvey's legacy means something to each of you personally. So thank you so much. And thank you, Bruce. Bruce, of course, is the producer of this wonderful project, and it's a miracle. I've known Cleve, since 1870. Oh, I'm in the wrong movie tonight. I'm doing 1878. Where? But anyway, I really am so gratified to see so many people out here tonight. I know Harvey's looking on us right now. It's a really good thing that we're doing for him, so thank you. I want to tell you one thing about the night that Harvey died. It was sad. So, if you got a cheer for Harvey, the most memorable moment, you will laugh. That emotion that we had that night, that sadness, turned into a steel resolve that has carried our movement forward to this day. So thank you all so much. Rock on, San Francisco!